Hi, everyone. Today I am here with Nancy Wells from Allstate, the Wells Agency, and we're going to talk a little bit about homeowners insurance when you're purchasing a new home. So Nancy, let's talk about this for a second. We've got somebody, a brand new buyer or even an experienced buyer, and they're under contract on their property. So why should we call you like right away once they go under contract?
Great question. As soon as you go under contract, you're usually in a period of time called the due diligence period. And that gives you time to do your research while you're not financially on a hook. During that time, as soon as you get under contract, you call us. There's a database that all insurance reports to, doesn't matter what company it's with, and we can find out the claims that have been placed on the home that you are looking at up to the last 5 years. So it does not matter what company you're with or they're with, it's going to pull it from that home, because a lot of times people that are selling won't share with you what has been done in the past. A lot of times they can pocket the money, or it may not have been done well. They may have done it themselves. So if there's a $75,000 water loss, I would want to know about it so that you can call a trusted plumber and make sure that it was done correctly. So you're in that window of time where you can do your due diligence and make sure, and if anything needs adjusted, you have your money still. So it's
That's really cool. You can do a research. How far back? 5 years? Is that
5 years?
Mm-hmm. So you can do a research 5 years back, whether it's with your company or any company, and find out what the insurance history is on that property.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, so that's like super helpful, because sometimes people do make the repair, or they do make a claim, I should say, which they have the right to do, but maybe they didn't fix it with that money, or they fixed it themselves or whatever. Right. So really good to know. And if that wasn't disclosed on the disclosure, also really good to know. So I love that. Okay, so they've talked to you, and they actually like you, and they like your company, and they like what you say, and they say, you know what, Nancy, we think we might want to get a quote from you for homeowners insurance to cover us, because you have to have that binder policy when you go to closing. So what does that look like? What does that process look like for most home buyers?
Good question. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather the information of who's going to be living in the home first. A lot of times when you're buying a home on your mortgage, you have the person that has the highest credit, and it's usually one name. With insurance, it's different. If you're married, we have to put you both on the policy because you both live there. So it's different. So it's also going to do a credit view. It's not a credit hit in any way. We don't even see your FICO score. Every company will require this because your rating platform is based on how well you pay your bills. And it's also looking at, and it'll transfer to an algorithm of each company, and it'll give you the different platform rating for your level that you are at. And it's also going to look at your claims history. So how many claims you have that have been following you, because they're going to follow you for 5 years as well. So it has that information, and then we're going to get information on the home. So we're going to ask, is this a 1-story, a 2-story? And a lot of times the verbiage you hear or you read is different than insurance. So we're going to also look at the tax assessors websites, which a lot of times are not up to date. And a lot of times people have seen the home once or twice, and you'll think, oh, it has 3 sides brick when it's really 1, and so it's good to get, when the appraisal is done, it's good to have that in our hands so that we can double check to make sure that all the coverage is spot on right away. Because they're also rebuilding, they're looking for not just the rebuild costs, it has to equate for a complete loss. So say it burns down to the ground, you have the excavation and removal of all the debris, and then you have the building and labor. So that all that amount is going to be what the dwelling comes up to, because we're not insuring the land, we're just insuring the home.
Right. That makes sense. So does someone come out to the house to take a look?
Yep. Anytime you rent a home, someone's going to come out and they're going to inspect it. They don't come on the property, and they don't go into a backyard if it's fenced ever. So you don't have to worry about privacy invasions. They would never do that. But they just want to make sure, if you have a home that says on the tax assessor's site that you have so much square footage or what's on the exterior and it's not correct, they want to make sure it is correct. So if there's a total loss, you have full coverage and you have the correct coverage. Anytime you have a high value home, which is equated to 4,000 square foot or 800,000 in dwelling coverage,
Or
they're going
more,
to do an
right?
interior and an exterior inspection, and they'll call you for that because that's
Okay.
it's much higher value.
So what sets you guys apart from other home insurance agencies?
Well, we are a husband and wife team, which is not normal. So you have two owners in play. We bought an existing book of business 14 years ago, and ours established in 1972. We're one of the larger agencies in the state. One of the main things we do is we do reviews with every customer every year. We reach out to you proactively, which almost nobody does. My husband's been on the National Advisory Board of Allstate for years. We're going to make sure you have proper protection. If there's any new discounts, you're going to be aware of them. So we're high in service and protection.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when you reach out every year, what does that conversation look like? What are you looking for?
I have a staff member, that's all she does, is she calls as you're renewing before you actually renew and puts you on the schedule. And before that actual scheduled time, a licensed agent is going to look through everything to see if there's any holes in liability, make sure you have any new discounts that have come out. We're going to make sure that you're aware of it. And just, we do a relationship. I don't care if I'm losing money and you have the best rate at all times, because I do this for life. I want to make sure we're doing life together, that you've got proper coverage at the best price.
That's awesome. So no surprises. And I love that personal touch, that one-on-one. So that's really important. You don't see too many insurance companies who do that. It's like you get the business. A lot of these insurance companies, you get the business and you never hear from your rep again until you have a problem. So
and it's the same person, and you have my cell phone, which is significant when there's a loss at 2 a.m.
And that actually brings up a really good point. We want them to call you and not the 800 number, right?
Right.
Why is that
Yes.
such a big deal?
That's a huge deal. Anytime you call an 800 number in any company, including Allstate Insurance, you're not speaking to a licensed person because they're not licensed. If you're inquiring about something that could be wrong, they will put a claim in on you. They won't tell you, they won't ask you, they have to because they're not licensed. Whether that claim is paid out or not, you lose a claims-free discount and you're surcharged for 5 years. Most places will not write you if you have 2 claims. Allstate will, but you'll get hit for it. 3 claims or more, you're going to off-market lines, paying out the nose.
No. So
Big protection.
yeah, it's important to have that one-on-one connection with your agent.
Absolutely.
So how can everyone get in touch with you if they have more questions?
Well, I'm going to give you my personal phone number, and I'll give you our office phone number. My cell phone is 404-452-5066, and our work number is 770-541-4000. My email is my name, nancywells@allstate.com. Very simple.
Awesome. Nancy, thank you so much for your time and for this information. This is super helpful, and
My pleasure.
Look forward to working with you again in the future.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Thank you for watching The Lowdown with the local market experts. You can find us online at lauramilleredwards.com, on Instagram at LME Realty, and on Facebook at LME Realty Group.